Finished number 7 today. I don't know if you guys probably could hear on the other side of the building in the parking lot. They're having a lot of fun, which is good. We talked about, Saturday's work that we got, just details. We just got to have more details, but they're getting good work. We're getting better little by little, like where we are, again, after 7. Big things are having fun out there. We just got to stay with the quarterback at times, and, I thought it was a good day. Questions?
What kind of progress is Rodney making?
Rodney Hammond? Day by day. All 3 of those tailbacks are doing a nice job. All 3 of them. Our run game probably looks as good as it's looked in the last 3 years, because there's an emphasis on it. We'd like to run the ball out of every different personnel grouping, formation, whatever it may be. So our run game looks good, which makes those tailbacks look good.
Rodney's I don't forget people here and there, but who stood out in the scrimmage?
That's a great question, because I just told EJ, I got a couple linebackers are going to come in here. I got Solomon DeShields and really Bengali and Shane Simon. Those guys all look good, but he said I can only bring 2 out today, so I figured I'd bring the 2 older guys for now. At least the 2 guys that've been here for a little longer. But they both, it's like you're starting to see it. DeShields had a sack off the edge where he, kind of faked the long arm. He dipped and ripped it. He got about that low off the ground and came around the corner. It was like, oof, I haven't seen anybody really do that. So he's big, he's strong, he's athletic. You'll like what he looks like. He looks a lot better than me sitting at this little podium here. He looks a lot better than EJ too. So those 2 guys stood out. Another guy, just a young guy just to keep on your radar is Khalil Anderson. I've been impressed with Khalil Anderson. Young guy out of Georgia. Obviously, you guys probably know who's that. He's wearing number 3. He had times out there he looked like old number 3, if you know who I'm talking about, DeMar. Just a really good football sense at safety. Again, we moved him to safeties at corner. That's been a spring ball move that we had. So there's a safety that I've talked about. Eric and Brandon Hill, so I'm not saying they didn't play good. I'm talking about young guys that are, starting to look good. Let me think of a young corner here. I tell you what, Noah Bigelow. No, I'm gonna check. Noah Bigelow doesn't look as good as I want him to. Rylan Gandy is a guy that I've noticed a lot of. Again, another young corner that's physical. He's tough and he's really smart right now. So he's making some moves. So much, the Noah Bigelows and the Crumpleys better turn around and go, where's he at? So that's that side of the ball. Both quarterbacks look good. Patty Slovis, running backs, that's easy. And then the other guy, Jake Renda, we talk about, if you get into some 2 tight end sets, obviously we know Gavin, but Jake Renda's kind of, moved around a little bit. He can run, and he's turning some head there. And at wide out, it's a pretty good group of guys there. I don't think there's anybody that you guys don't know about.
Are DeShields and Kamara working on the outside?
Yeah, they're both at outside. Right now we got DeShields to the field and Bengali to the boundary.
Is that,
they can both do both.
You've had athletic guys there, but I got to think that's pretty high in terms of athleticism for the outside spots.
Yeah, there's no question. Obviously Solomon Shields is, he's big and athletic. You look at him, you're going to say he looks like a defensive end. I don't know when the last time he's, done a media. You better give him a little, coaching over there. But he's done a nice job. He's grown up. And again, conversation, back, months ago where, hey, I want to be a linebacker. I think I told you that story. He's really, taken to it out there and done a nice job.
Right. Like he's shown flashes last year, and how has he transitioned from just showing flashes to being consistent?
He's been more consistent. There's still little tiny details with both of them that still need cleaned up. Believe me, there's alignments. And I'm talking perfect alignments. And they get in the area, they think being in a spot is good enough. So it's still much more details to go. But just what they've done as far as when the ball snapped and moving and making tackles and making plays, that's what's impressed me. Their details still got to be better.
As a group, do you get a sense that the linebackers know that there's opportunities there? Do you get that sense of urgency from them?
Oh, I think so for sure. I think the Shields had that sense of urgency after the bowl game when he's like, hey, I don't want to play wide, I want to play linebacker. I think he saw that, there's opportunities there for sure.
Rodney's a hard runner. We saw that all last year. How does that come across in spring games when he's running hard against his own guys?
It's this whistle right here. As hard as the head coach. Today they were chanting over on the defense sideline, Doozy's cheating, for the offense. But it's hard to control them all. It's 22 guys out there, and you're just trying to keep them up off the ground and try to keep them safe at the same time. But Rodney runs hard. They all do. Izzy runs hard. Vince runs hard. They all run hard.
Does that make coaching these kind of practices a lot more fun when you got young linebackers you're excited about?
It makes it. You guys talk about nerves. You guys talk about nerves at Pro Day yesterday. I have nerves every time I walk on the field and I say it's thud. because I don't know if they really know what thud is. That's staying off the ground.
What inspired the move with Khalil Anderson from corner to safety?
Just a lack of depth at the safety position as far as guys going through the spring. We're always going to recruit, really, a bunch of corners and then, slowly move them in there. And, we did that last year with Rashad. We moved Rashad back to corner. We said, let's try Khalil. We've been really, it's kind of, Rashad never, really grew into the position, but I think Khalil can do that.
Field safety?
Yeah, field. But he could be the boundary too. He could do either one. And he's really just being smart back there. He's really a smart football player.
What kind of flexibility does it offer when you have, Eric and Brandon already doing pretty well at it?
Yeah, and then you got P.J. O'Brien, and Steph Halls hadn't had a lot of contact, but he's mentally really, really good as well. So, and I'm forgetting the boundary safety behind Brandon Hill. Oh, here's another one. I didn't give it to Javon McIntyre. I should have a roster here or something. Javon McIntyre is another guy that is really playing well. So EJ's heard this, so he'll slowly get these guys out to you.
How did Keaton and Nick?
They both look good. I won't give you stats or anything like that, but they both are doing good things and taking advantage of the opportunities they have. They're both rotating with the ones and the twos just to find out, how they both do. So Coach Signetti's done a good job at rotating them and keeping that competition going.
Any side, offense or defense, winning more right now?
You know what? Last Tuesday, the offense kicked defense's butt. Thursday, the defense kicked the offense's butt. Saturday, to me, there was a lot of good things, on both sides. So I'd say it was kind of a draw, is what I would say. We didn't, it wasn't a scrimmage. It was just a practice. But there was a lot of going back and forth. They won that play. They won the next play. They won that series or that drive or that period, and then the next, So it went back and forth, which was good. That's what I wanted to see.
Who won today?
I would say probably a 60% defensive day. The pass rush got after the offensive line today, so I'd probably say that.
Good.